All right, good morning. Thanks for joining Your News Arizona. I'm Jonathan Alexander, and we're going to be live with you guys here in a minute. All right, good morning. Thanks for joining Jonathan and Julie D in the morning. I'm Jonathan Alexander, and this is Julie D. Good morning, Julie.
Grand Rising. Jonathan, how are you?
I'm doing good this fine Veterans Day.
Yes, indeed. It is Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day, everybody.
Yeah, and to all you patriots out there who have served this great nation of ours, we appreciate your service as well.
Absolutely.
You know, Julie, last night we had a large disturbance out in Berkley, California. We had the protesters intervening on Charlie Kirk's event that they had out there
Oh,
for Turning Point. We had several people being assaulted. Berkeley PD ended up arresting one of the Charlie Kirk vendors that we seen at the event. And I'm gonna play a little footage from last night for the viewing audience so that they can see it.
okay.
And I believe this is going to be the first one.
This was at a planned event in Berkeley, you say, for
Yes,
Turning Point.
yes, ma'am. That's
It was
exactly
on
what it
campus.
was.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Here's
Okay.
here's the first one I'm going to share. Sorry about that. You listen to what that thug said. That guy says, anytime, any place, punch a fascist in the face.
As he's wearing a face mask and sunglasses in the middle of the night. Cute.
Yep.
Real cute. Yeah, that's real brave. What a
And,
punk.
you know, again, you know, these Antifa protesters are inciting violence. I know the Trump administration said he declared them as being terrorists. So my
Right.
question is, why is Berkeley PD allowing this? I mean, that's
Exactly.
number one. That's number one question. And I didn't mean to totally stop sharing that, but we'll get to the one to where one of the vendors ended up getting assaulted. I'm going to share that with you guys.
So the vendor was assaulted by an Antifa person? By the
Yes, ma'am.
did they follow? Oh no, I might
So
know him. Wait a minute.
so we're going to
Who
go
is
ahead
that?
and we're going to go ahead and play this.
Okay.
Go the fuck home!
Nazis go home! Nazis go home! Nazis go home! Nazis go home! Nazis go home! Nazis
Fuck you, fascists!
Fuck you, fascists!
Fuck you, fascists!
Fuck you, fascists!
Chingala migra!
So this guy off to his left keeps blowing smoke in his face the whole time,
Yeah.
trying to agitate
Yeah.
him. But
Uh-huh.
we'll get to the assault scene here in a minute.
Chingala migra! Chingala migra!
Sorry about that.
Fuck you, fascists!
Fuck you, fascists!
Fuck you, fascists!
Fuck you, fascists!
Chingala migra! Chingala migra!
Talk about the kidnapping.
Just take away.
Why are they kidnapping
all that. Christ is Lord.
Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE!
Christ.
So the vendor keeps saying Christ is Lord, and that's the thing that agitates Antifa the
Agitates them.
most.
Oh no, the demons get agitated anytime you
Yep.
use the name of Jesus or Yeshua.
Yep, anything about God, Jesus,
Yep.
they're right on it.
Yep.
Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! We're gonna start our first speech of the night.
Stop the
I would-
kidnapping.
I would like.
Stop the
Christ is Lord.
deportation.
Jesus Christ is the Messiah, and He will be returned.
We're queer!
The first speech of the night. I would like to welcome Antonio from Students Organizing for Liberation. Hello. I first want to thank all of you all for coming out here. And I do want to pay attention to our comrade right here. They have a point.
So, right here, here in 1 second, they're going to rip off his shirts and throw them on the ground.
Oh no.
And this is where it really starts to begin.
It is our job as students to be educators within the student movement. It is not enough to say fuck fascism when we don't tell why we need it. Okay, this is it.
You guys, that's exactly what they want. That's exactly what they want.
I saw that guy moving in.
Private police, break it up!
The guy with the red. The guy with the red. The guy with the red.
Break it up! Break it up! Police, break it up! Police,
That guy.
Hey, white boy.
break it up!
You bullying, bitch.
Wow.
Hey, white boy. You're bullying.
Relax! Break it up! Break it up!
What happened? What happened? Relax. Relax. What happened, white boy? Hey, white boy, what the fuck happened?
Guy tried to rob me. And
Can you guys step back, please? You guys come film with us. Give us a little.
Got a good face shot of that guy.
So, anyways, this good thing Turning Point has cameras right there on scene.
Yeah.
Thank God for that. But that guy was just a bloody mess. And
Man.
there's another guy. I've got footage where another guy was holding his head from that was going into the Turning Point event. I mean, this has just gotten to be just total chaos at these events. And the
So
po-
this one
yeah,
was in California, and it was the city police that did not intervene at all, right? Is that what we're getting?
pretty much. I mean, they sat there and watched everything go down. They watched the guy assault the vendor, and next thing they're putting the vendor in handcuffs and hauling him out of there. And
So my question then becomes, where along the line are they not getting the comprehension that Antifa has been identified as a terrorist organization? I would think that if anybody's showing up at these events identifying as Antifa, that they should be able to be picked up just by identifying, period.
right,
I mean, if they're going to be that silly, and they are,
yeah.
right?
Well,
And
you
we
look at the
know
face
that they're,
mask. Yeah. Look at
yes,
the face mask and everything these people are wearing. I mean,
they're
they look like
completely organized. They have been
yep,
receiving funds for a long, long time from the Soros crew, along with others. And this is fully funded. And this is not a grassroots anything. The only grassroots about it is the guy standing there smoking weed. I mean, that's about all that was happening there. So, it just, it's so frustrating to
yeah.
witness all of this,
Well, we got a big
And
event we're going to be going to in December.
right.
That we go to every year out in Phoenix, put on by
Mhm.
Turning Point. And my understanding, there's already a lot of noise being made that there's going to be a lot of rioters at this event as well. And if it starts to get out of hand like that, I hope
Mhm.
Arizona takes more charge of how they've been handling it in like L.A., San Francisco, Portland,
Mhm.
Oregon. I mean, these police out in those states, they pretty much stand down until somebody's finally beat to no end, and then they end up usually arresting the good guy instead of the bad
Yeah,
guy.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's ridiculous. It's
you know,
crazy.
and all that guy was
Yeah,
doing was selling shirts and you know preaching the gospel,
man. That's so
and,
sad.
and that's what he gets for being there.
Yeah.
It's just for our viewing audience out there, if you guys would like to call into the studio at all this morning, you can call 928-385-4738. You're welcome to voice your comments or opinions on the matter as well.
Hmm.
We're going to
Love
be
to hear
taking
from you guys.
calls. We're going to be taking calls each day for anybody that wants to join in on our conversations. Or if you got something you could add to the story, we'd like to hear from you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Um, but hey, Julie, you've got some interesting information you said you'd like to share this morning.
Yeah, I do. Yes. I think, do I already have share screen access? I think I might.
Yeah, you do. You
Oh,
should.
yeah, I do. Okay. Awesome. Let me get this prepped then. Let me find this one. And let's see. Go back to share. Oh, I hope I can share it. It's through Telegram. Let me see if I can pull it over here.
Comes as the task force told us yesterday,
Probably can't,
101
can
children
you?
have been located. WREG, this information they've shared. Hey, Harrison, what do you have?
Can you hear that?
Shay, good evening. We've learned a lot
I can
more
hear
about
it.
the task force tonight as the
Okay, but we
numbers
can't see it,
are
right?
really eye-popping.
Correct.
We learned from the task 1,000 warrants have been cleared since they arrived on September 29th. These warrants, among others, in their short time in Memphis, Shay, the task force has been responsible for 2,342 total arrests. We've also just how big the task force. The operation is made up of 31 different agencies, 31 on the local, state, and federal levels.
Okay, so basically, are you able to hear it okay? It looks like
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
can
going to be
hear it.
able to share the picture, but you're able to hear it because I could turn the volume up. So basically what's happening in Memphis is that they have moved on 1,000 warrants. That's 1,000 warrants. And they have saved over 101 children, brought them back, have found them. And they have found many people on all different levels guilty of all those crimes that he just mentioned. So I'll go back and continue playing it, and we'll continue hearing it out here.
U.S.
Yeah, and if you could turn it up just a hair.
spoke on the
Absolutely.
Memphis Safe Task Force, saying, quote, "We will continue to investigate each warrant we and arrest the assailants to make it." At the top of the show there, the task force has found over 100 missing children in their short time in Memphis. We have reached out to them about more information on that statistic. Hopefully we'll have those answers by 10 tonight. From Memphis, Harrison Cloud, News Leader, WREG, News Channel 3.
Okay, again, these were U.S. Marshals in Memphis with the task force. They had 31 different agencies working together, and they gave out picked people up on over 1,000 warrants, on 1,000 warrants. And so over were picked up. My comprehension on each warrant is that can pick up to 99 people. So that's a really, really great thing that happened there. So yay, Memphis, keep it up. We're looking for more stories like that. So if you guys hear of more stories, actually, you could send them in to us too. We'd love to hear about them. And that's one of the things that Jonathan and I are very committed to, is bringing you guys the news that you may not even know is happening in your area. We want to find those and keep you educated. So
Yeah,
there's
so if you guys got news
one I wanted.
if you guys got news stories you'd like to get out there that we might not be covering, feel free to share them into yournewsarizona@gmail.com, or just feel free to call into the studio, and we can even bring you right onto our show as well. Um, we'd love to be able to get
Absolutely.
this out to the American people, and the more we can get out there and share, the more you guys can share it as well. We are trying to expose all the corruption that's going on here in America. You look at the amount of just human trafficking alone. Human trafficking, folks, is a multi-trillion-dollar operation. And a
Yes.
good portion of it is happening from the cartel here in America. And as we've been exposing these judges that's been working with the cartel, the law enforcement that we expose that's been working with the cartel, these guys are all a part of this. Because once they're involved with the cartel, they're involved in human smuggling, drug smuggling. I mean, you name it. That's exactly what these judges and law enforcement have been involved in now as well. And again, I'm not here to beat up on our law enforcement and our judges this morning. There's a lot of good ones out there as well, but we have got a good handful of bad ones out there that we're exposing to the world.
Exactly. And the network is huge. The network is global, but it's backyards, whether we want to admit it or not.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's a hard pill to swallow when you find out that, maybe your sheriff isn't as well. Again, judges, it's everywhere. Judges, police, child protective services, it's all tied together in order to protect basically the PEDOS and, to keep them fully operational. Meanwhile, they're suffering, and so are we. We suffer when our children suffer. So, yeah.
And again, for those of you that
go ahead.
I was just going to say, for those of you that did not catch our phone number, down at the bottom of your screen, we've got posted, that's scrolling by, the telephone number for our studio, and you feel free to call in, folks.
Yep, absolutely. Another thing I wanted to bring up, Jonathan, was something that the White House posted, and it is our President Trump and something that he recommends to the Senate Republicans. And I think this is just a fantastic idea. You guys have heard it. Maybe this is the first time. So basically, he said, I am recommending to Senate Republicans that the hundreds of billions of dollars currently being sent to money sucking insurance companies in order to save the bad health care provided by Obamacare. And then in capital letters, he says, be sent directly to the people. Signed, President Donald J. Trump. And I think that is a fabulous idea. And I am full support and ready to receive. The
Well,
Obamacare has been one of the biggest scams on we the people since its inception.
yeah. Well, you look at
It's
the
been bad.
thousands of dollars that these people have paid out of their pocket each year for Obamacare. You know,
Mhm.
it's good to see that he's wanting to propose something that can actually help the American people instead of hurt them more.
Yes.
One of the things I kind of disagree with Donald Trump on, and I'm just going to say this today, he announced about doing a 50-year mortgage.
Mhm.
You look at the amount of money that people are already paying these banks. You know, if he starts this 50-year mortgage thing, people are going to be dead and buried long before the mortgages are ever paid off. Who ends
Well,
up
I
getting these? Who ends up getting these houses? Is my question. If you don't have it next to kin and you've got a mortgage, the banks are going to take it back or whatever. Um, I
don't.
realize it's to help the American people as well in one aspect to lower the amount of monthly payment, and I know this. But at the same time, you know, as it is when you're doing a 30-year mortgage, these banks are getting a lot of interest over 30 years as it is. Can you imagine 50 years, the amount of money that you're going to be paying out in interest if you happen to
Mhm.
survive the length of your loan? So, that's just my
I'll
input
have
on
to, yeah, research that because this is I hear of it announcing that. What I do know is that under the current financing system, they are taking advantage of us in too big of a way, and that we have basically been debt slaves. And if you break the word mortgage down in French, it's like the death of something. It means more. Mort means death. Okay. so, um, so this is I'll do research on that. Says how they're setting that up because that's very curious. Again, I can see where the goodness of it are as lowering the actual monthly intake initially. But so let me think of him announcing a $2,000 back to we the people. Notice he did not use the word dividend.
Yep, I 100% agree with them on that.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you look at all the people that got caught up in Obamacare. I've talked to a lot of people that were their monthly premiums alone were over 1,000 a month for Obamacare.
That's
When you're
crazy.
making, and if you're making only 3,000 a month or whatever, or 2,000 a
Yeah.
month, you're paying out
No.
1,000 for Obamacare a month. And on top of trying to provide your housing, your food, all your everyday necessities. A lot of the American people were struggling every single month. And a lot of people, I mean, look at the amount of couples over all the crap that was going on that actually ended up getting divorced but staying together because certain people weren't qualifying for certain things as well. Um,
Oh,
and
tons.
so there was
Tons.
tons
I
of
know
people that
tons of
ended up
people. Yes.
staying together, but they got divorced, so that they did qualify, especially when it
Right.
came to life and death matters with their loved ones.
Yep.
But
Yep.
but there should never come a day here in America to where people end up having to say, "All right, I agree. Let's both just get divorced. We're going to love each other, stay together, but we're going to do this to make it work. That way, you're receiving what you need to receive. Nobody should ever be put in that predicament.
I agree 200%. It is so sad what these insurance companies have done and become. I had a friend who was, she was what they call a coder, and she had a certain number of codes that she needed to know in order to assist and code from the doctor's office, through the insurance company. And she went from having to know like 9,000 lines of code to over 30,000, I believe it was, lines of code. And when Obamacare rolled out, and along with that, the other thing, this is just so money oriented. It never had anything to do with people's health. It didn't have anything to do with their physical health. It didn't have to do with their relationship health. Hence the reason to have to get divorced in order to qualify for said life-saving procedures, right? It's very sad. The other thing that I recognize is I worked in the mortgage industry, that crazy industry, for a little bit. And this one woman who was she would go through and assess the credit within people's, file. Well, she shared with me, she said, we don't even take into consideration any medical bills, because 90% of the medical bills that are coming out are incorrect, meaning they're being overcharged. So a lot of folks, the whole insurance to medical, and then I've even heard where the doctors have received a phone call in the middle of an operating procedure and told, we're not going to cover it. You need to halt this procedure right now.
Right.
This is ridiculous. This is not health care. This is sick care, and always has been. So yeah, I love the idea of getting dividends back, and that's what our tariffs will do for us, people.
Right.
That's what the tariffs are going to do. This is basically taxing the world to bring their stuff in here. What's the problem with that if we're definitely receiving the plus of it, right? So he's setting us up to be the receivers of operation, working in the positive, not in the negative, right? And I think that's fabulous.
Well, you look at you look at how long the government has been stealing from we the people. Yeah, it's nice to hear that Trump wants to do something and create an incentive for us, versus just taking. Because this is what they've done year after year after year, just taking from the American people to a point that the American people can't even afford to live anymore.
Exactly. Well, and yeah, it's called debt slavery. And we've all been that. We've all been debt slaves. And so if there's any unification that I think that we can come to, it's the fact that the government has not allowed us to be able to thrive economically, financially, right?
Yeah.
And so we've all been debt slaves in some capacity. It's been really sad. Property taxes going up all over the place. It just everything that they put on us is it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So,
and you know what, Julie, I would love to hear from our viewing audience this morning how the shutdown affected them. How many people received their benefits, if they want to announce that. How many people didn't get it? How many people know of others that ended up just getting nothing in the last month?
Right.
Because I'm hearing from a lot of our seniors and disabled people, they didn't get a dime
Okay.
from SNAP. I'm hearing all kinds of rumors about that right now. And then I'm hearing a lot of people say, well, they got a little bit, but not nearly what they get every month. And they still have not received anything at this point.
It would also be interesting to locate someone who receives the big chunk that isn't an American citizen to see if they received anything.
Yep.
And find one of those receipts to see if they received anything after the 1st of November. Because I have heard in the background that with the shutdown, they have apparently, maybe, let's keep our fingers crossed, the Doge went in ahead of time and saw where folks were receiving SNAP benefits that are dead. I found that out too, and or not citizens. So hopefully, because at one point at the start of this, I do recall President Trump saying that one thing with this shutdown is that we're able to shut down Democratic programs that don't align with where our money should be going.
Right.
So, I'd love to hear both sides, the folks that are supposed to be receiving, how much did you get? And, it's only the 11th of November and they're just now starting about opening back up. So if that's the case, there's still time for monies to show up this month.
Yeah. Well, I just had somebody message me through Messenger telling me that they did not receive a dime.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Well, we're praying that for you
They asked
it
me
comes
not to mention their name. They asked me not to mention their name, so out of respect, I won't do that.
Absolutely. Well, we're very much praying and hoping that things shift and things come through for you, and that there's going to be some extra in there as well.
Yeah. well, and then you look at the veterans out there right now talking about Veterans Day.
Right.
The VA had pretty well shut down as well throughout this shutdown, and there's so many people that cannot afford to have the VA shutting down like this, and the Democrats forced that in the shutdown. A lot of people that were filing claims for the benefits or whatever else weren't even able to get them filed throughout the shutdown. And you'd be surprised, folks, how many veterans on a weekly basis apply for VA benefits. We got veterans that are coming out of the active service every day that end up having to apply for veterans benefits.
Yes.
So again, these Democrats allowed this shutdown to be like it was all over, taking care of the illegals, and we know this, versus taking care of the American people, taking care of our disabled, our veterans out there, our retired people that desperately needed assistance. They kept them held hostage, and that's the best word to use. They held them hostage, hoping that they were going to flip with the Democrats. And not to mention they were hoping that everybody would end up turning against Donald Trump, and this kind of backfired on them as well.
Big time.
Especially after seeing the 8 Democrats that turned around and flipped instead and said, "Okay, we're going with the Republicans." It's just, this is the kind of stuff. And again, this is only until November 31st, I believe it is. Is that right, Julie? Where they're going to reopen the government up until November 30th. And then there's no guarantee the government's not going to shut down again. So what happens then? What happens then? It's sad when you got politicians and everybody that can regulate who eats and who doesn't, all because they want to do a shutdown or whatever. It's a sad day for America when we see this. Yeah. So, are you there, Julie? Looks like you kind of froze up on the screen. There we go. Yeah, your screen's freezing this morning.
Darn it. Clear.
All right. And I want to get to just a little bit more of the chaos that we had out there in Berkley, California. I want to get that finished shared with you guys. And we can get on to some other subjects.
Right. I think I'm back and stable again. Hopefully.
Okay.
Never stable. No.
Okay. This is the one I was going to finish sharing here.
To be remembered as a misogynistic, racist, enabler by your grandchildren. What's it like to be on the wrong side?
You know, one of the things I will say about this, when I watch this video and stuff, it makes me feel like I'm watching a third world country out there.
Same.
That's exactly what it makes me feel like. It's hard to believe
Yep.
this is right here in America.
Yep. So those are just the folks trying to get into the event or trying to leave the event.
I'm sorry, say that again, Julie.
Those are just folks trying to get into the event or leave the event, and then they're
This,
getting harassed like this, right?
they got it both coming and going. When these people were
Wow.
coming to that event, yeah, this was coming and going all throughout.
Wow.
Um,
Wow. That's a
and
mess.
I mean, you had people sitting there actually throwing mace at these people and tear gas. Um, and you know, so there's a lot of reports coming in that this just completely got out of hand. The Berkeley Police Department should have intervened on this way before they did.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
They pretty much just stood back like they're eating popcorn and drinking a soda pop, watching the show.
Wow. Wow.
And again, it's a sad day for America when we keep seeing this happening in all of our cities across America. I mean, it's not
Yep.
just California. It's Portland,
No.
Phoenix, L.A. I mean, you name it, it's going on. And this is a problem that we're seeing each and every day. And until our law enforcement steps up in those cities, as far as I'm concerned, Julie, they need to hold these law enforcement officers accountable. They need to.
Yeah.
Anybody that's
Right.
getting injured, anybody, what's it going to take? How many people's got to die before law enforcement says enough is enough?
Right.
I mean,
Agreed.
and that's kind of what I told the viewing audience last night. I think it's just a matter of time. We're going to see a lot more fatalities. I mean, these people are starting to get very hostile, not just with, Turning Point, not just against us reporters out there reporting this to America. They're assaulting our law enforcement. They're assaulting, our ICE agents, our border patrol. But yet,
And the thing is, they're paid to do it. They are getting paid to do it. And then if they get picked up, there is a legal system in place who funds them, that then can go get them out of jail, post the bond, gets them out, whatever. But they're back on the street in no time at all. That's if they're picked up. Literally a different set of rules for they to we, and I would love to see where these police departments need to step up and follow through on what has been called out as a terrorist organization.
Right.
And they need to get together and treat them as such. So come on, folks, let's do it.
Well, not to mention, Julie, take a look at all these judges going up against Trump. You think they were working with the Antifa and all these corrupt people out there. I mean, these judges don't want the military on the street. And, I see a lot of both sides of the aisle disagree with having military activated in these cities. But on the other hand, I look at why Donald Trump has done it. When you have law enforcement totally disregarding what's going on, not protecting the people, which these law enforcement officers took an oath to protect and serve, and they're not protecting the people. What other alternative are they giving Donald Trump besides deploying the military to these cities to protect the people?
Exactly.
Because for Donald Trump as president, it's his duty to also protect this country and our people of every state. That's his duty. If law enforcement ain't
he's
going to do it,
chief. Yeah, but he's commander in chief, right? And so I love the fact that he is stepping up and taking that role seriously, unlike the previous administration. and saying no, this amount of violence cannot continue to exist. And the way that he even handled Washington, D.C. was phenomenal in my book. I mean,
Right.
I was in D.C., I was stationed in D.C. for a little bit. And man, you didn't go out there by yourself, because you would get one block off of the main drag and you're in not good area, not good territory. It's not safe. None of it was safe. And this was 30 odd years ago, right? And I've known that DC has been the murder capital of the United States for a long time. It's been on that list. So for it to no longer be on that list is incredible. So I applaud what he's doing. And again, he's acting as the commander in chief, as the last one was supposed to have and never did. So for everybody boo-hooing, this is what happens when
I don't.
when
I
you
don't know
don't
if
listen
you.
to your parents.
I don't know if you can see the comment section on your screen right there.
No, I can't. Let me see if I
But
can follow color.
but Anna Townsend says, "Hey, Jonathan and Julie D. Well, good morning, Anna Townsend." And then she responds and says, "Foreign entities are playing these corrupt police officers in charge." Yep.
Absolutely agreed
Yep.
with that. Yes.
100%.
Been infiltrated for a very long time. And again, when I say infiltrated, all levels, all cities, all countries, I mean, all counties, everybody's been infiltrated with exactly the type of people that you're talking about.
Right.
So, yes, thank you for adding that. We appreciate that. It's very true.
Again, if anybody wants to call into the studio, you guys can call in at area code 928-385-4738. Feel free to voice your opinions during our talk show. Each day, you guys are welcome to call in. If you'd like to be a part of the show, reach out to me at yournewsarizona@gmail.com. We'd love to bring you on the show as well. And we're just focused right now on getting these stories out to America, talking about it, and just try to get people more involved. Especially, when you're looking at the human trafficking that Julie just talked about this morning, we are big on putting a stop to this human trafficking that's going on all across America. Um, and and if you guys see something suspicious, you know, good example. You see these children standing outside a motel room at 2 o'clock in the morning. Chances are they're probably being human trafficked. I mean, they're being sold off for prostitution or whatever else. Um, and that's one of the things they teach in the different classes when you take those classes to how to spot human trafficking. That's one of the signs.
Yep,
Yeah,
one of the
where you'll
signs.
see
Yep.
them, where you'll see them standing out in a motel parking lot late at night. Just a child alone. If you see
Yep.
that, get a full description. If you got a cell phone, even take a picture of the child standing out there. That way, you can show it to the motel and show it to law enforcement and just say, I was just concerned. This is not something that we see every day. There's some child just standing outside late at night.
Right. Right.
It's our voices that matter, folks. The
Yes.
more we can put a stop to the human trafficking and all this corruption going on, the better this country is going to be for all of us.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. We are in charge of taking care of the children, whether they're your children or not. We as adults, that is our responsibility. And so this is why we're here doing what we're doing.
Yeah,
Right?
amen.
Yes. So.
But again, for all you guys watching, we've been being censored heavily on Facebook. For those of you guys out there on Facebook, if you can like and share our broadcast, our news stories, get it out there to everybody you know. We greatly appreciate it. Um, um, Facebook, as I'll call them, Facebook. They sure like to censor people when they don't want this kind of news being broadcasted out.
Absolutely.
Almost makes me feel like they're working with these the corrupt people as well. So I'm surprised they haven't shut my channel down on Facebook.
Well, maybe there's a lot of other protective measures in place that are keeping it up and running. Now, I heard something the other day that Mr. Musk might be looking at purchasing YouTube. Have you heard this one? I was
I
like,
heard
oh, whoa,
I
what?
I've heard a few
Hmm,
little rumors about it.
that could be interesting, maybe.
Yeah, and if he does, hopefully he allows free speech, not the censorship that we get all over YouTube.
Well, and what's curious to me is that I am seeing a lot of truther patriots come back that were censored 5 years ago. They're getting their channels back.
Yeah, they are.
And yeah, I was talking to my brother last night and he's like, yeah, well, too little, too late at this point. But not really. I feel like this is a new wave of people learning what's going on. And so for these people getting their voices back, their platforms back, just like us, I think it's really important for people
Yeah,
who are just starting to question things to come across, stations like ours that give them that information and share what's been going on behind the scenes.
right.
Because there's a
Well,
lot. There's a lot.
YouTube actually silenced my page for almost 30 days. I was not
Wow.
allowed to post or anything, and this is back during COVID.
COVID,
For
right.
all because was talking about the big C word,
Yep.
and next thing I know, I got a warning from them saying if I continued, blah blah blah, they would permanently shut my page down.
Yep.
All for voicing my opinion. I mean, talk
Yep.
about somebody interrupting with people for freedom of speech.
Absolutely.
And
And so my research, I went deep diving into that topic and I learned that, the military loves its acronyms, right? Well,
right,
turns out COVID was an acronym as well. And it, ladies and gentlemen, stands for Certificate of a Vaccination ID.
yeah. I'm not sure
And
what Anna Townsend's comment means here. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. She says, still have a manhunt for a Trantifa who unalived his grandmother and set
oh,
the house on fire in eastern North Carolina.
oh
I think
no, that's horrible.
I think what she's implying is Antifa, not Trantifa. Probably a typo on there. Um, let's see.
Well, or she could mean a trans person who is in
Oh,
Antifa.
yeah. There you go. Yep,
That
you're
might be
right.
what it is.
Yep. And then
Oh, that's horrible.
Christine Ostrowski says, talking about corrupt police officers, look at Portland. They sit in their cars, sipping sipping lattes and eating good food, and give their jobs over to Antifa, which Jimmy
Mhm.
Kimmel says doesn't exist. It's a made up word from the right. Well, Christine, you're absolutely right. Um, when you watch these people, they're trying to tell us patriots out here and the American people that the right side, right wing people or whatever, made up Antifa. Like this is a just all in our imagination.
Right,
Unbelievable.
right.
Yeah. And Anna Townsend says it's been 2 weeks on that one.
North Carolina
Yeah, for
one.
the North Carolina
Yeah,
event.
we'll have to take a look at and deep dive into that and see what's happening there.
Well,
Thank you for
Anna,
letting us know that, Anna.
Anna Townsend, if you would like to call into the studio, if you want to add anything to it, just give a call 928-385-4738. Just go ahead and give us a call. We'd be happy to bring you on air as well. Um, but either way, it's just, we just have got to keep exposing this left and right of what's happening in our country. And
Absolutely.
it's just, I don't know. Right now, there's days I'm at a loss for words at just what I'm seeing, what I'm witnessing, and just it's not the country we grew up in.
No, but we're trying to take it back. The
Yeah.
point is, we are taking it back. And the way we do so is to know what's going on around us.
Right.
Too many of us have put our head in the sand. But at the same time, I'm not going to beat people up for the simple point that part of being a debt slave means that we have been working our asses off and not able to lift our heads up to look to see what has been going on around us corruptly, illegally, right? We're too busy trying to put meat and potatoes on the table, all right? Working 2-3 jobs, robbing Peter to pay Paul. So we have all been slaves to the system and debt slaves. And this is where this has got to stop.
Oh, yeah.
And so as we learn more, we do better, right? And so
Actually,
I
think we got Anna
there we
Townsend
go.
calling in.
Hey, Anna.
Possibly. Good morning.
Hey, Jonathan. How's it going? It's Anna.
It's good. How you doing, Anna?
Doing pretty good.
Well,
I was just, it happened a couple of weeks ago. No bad. And, but yeah, he's affiliated with the Antifa. I think he's probably got some relation to the Asheville area as well. But anyway, yeah, he just was a bad guy. And, it's been, I don't know. I can't believe they haven't found him in this area. I mean, it's mostly swamp, marshes, and everything else. But somebody's probably helping him. And that's another question, who?
well, it's either that or maybe somebody sunk him in the swamp, too.
Well, yeah, he could have ran across an alligator.
It's possible.
So this was over his grandmother?
And this,
I like what you and Julie are talking about. That's horrible what happened.
were you able to hear Julie?
Yeah, I've listened to her before. I've
You
been
want-
following all of this stuff for a long time.
You want to say that again, Julie?
Yeah. Hi, Anna. I was wondering, did you say it was the grandmother that was deceased? Was it his grandmother that he took out? Maybe
Are you able to hear her comment, Anna?
Not really, but I'll go back and watch it. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you tell her. You tell her then, Jonathan.
So she's wanting to know if this was his grandmother that he took out?
Yeah, and then set the house on fire.
Oh.
It was in Craven County, which is like Havelock, and that's where Cherry Point is.
Wow.
And down in that area.
Wow.
And
that's
they're
horrible.
trying to follow him through Craven and Beaufort counties.
Hey, Anna, do you kind of feel like they've gone silent on the story?
Yeah, I do. I mean, they've got a $5,000 reward that they keep putting up, and you hardly hear anything of it on the news anymore.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're starting to see more and more of this around the country, you know, where they've got Antifa assaulting people, where we're seeing murders and different things. And it's like they'll broadcast it once, maybe twice, and all of a sudden it just goes silent as can be.
Absolutely.
And
That's true.
It's like they don't want it to keep being broadcasted out there because it's not meeting the agenda.
Right.
That's the way I feel, anyways.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I was just, I watched not too long ago when all the independent journalists were at the White House. That was just so enlightening. I mean, it's it's stuff we've all known.
Yeah.
But for it to actually getting to the ears of Tulsi Gabbard, Bondi, the president.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That they really now understand how global it is.
Right.
And, it's just insanity.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I wanted to call in and thank you, and I enjoy it. I'm getting ready to go to work. I got to close tonight at the stores. So.
Well, we appreciate you calling in, Anna. God bless you and your family. Tell your husband I said hi.
I sure will, Jonathan.
Yeah.
And good to see you, Julie.
Good to see you too, Anna. Thank you so
Julie,
much. Thanks for calling
Julie
in.
says it's good to see you too. So,
Okay.
all right.
You're
All right. God bless. All right. Bye bye.
God bless you, Jonathan.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, let's see. It's people like Anna Townsend, I'll just say this, that we'd love to be able to hear from people that have other information around the country. You know,
Yeah.
we're only two people trying to keep up on all the stories going on around this whole nation.
There's
So if
too
you,
many, and they happen so fast. It's
oh
like a
yes,
it's like a fire hose just coming at you. You're
yeah.
like, whoa, wait a minute,
Yeah.
and there's no slowing down here. Yeah.
So if you guys got some good stories out there, you think we should be broadcasting it, getting it shared out there to the American people, send it over to us again. You can send it to yournewsarizona@gmail.com or call into the studio and we'll even bring it live on the show. We
Right.
just love to be able to get this stuff out there. Um, I know there's been a lot of human trafficking stories out there going on right now, which we're going to start covering a lot of that as well.
Right.
We're big into exposing these human traffickers, and it's us, we the people, that can make a difference.
That's
And
right.
the more we can share pictures of suspects or different things, we've got a large following out there. I got another call coming through.
Good.
Hold on a second. Good morning, Your News Arizona.
Hey, this is Christine.
How you doing, Christine?
Pretty good. Was watching, as you saw, your broadcast.
Yes.
And I had a question for you guys.
Sure.
I don't know if you have any knowledge of this or what, but you know how Cash Patel and that they stopped the terrorist attack in Dearborn, Michigan that was supposed to take place on Halloween night.
Okay.
My question is, what are Cash Patel, Dan Bongino, and all them doing, or can they do, with all the Muslims in Michigan and Minneapolis that keep chanting "Death to America, death to the infidels" here on American soil? Can they deport them if they're here legal? I mean, what can they do about these people? Obviously, they want to hurt us.
Well, if they're illegal, I can tell you right now, they can round them up and deport them. I mean, that's a definite. Now, here's the problem that we have, Christina. We've got a lot of people, even here in America, that has been converting over to Islam. That seems to be an epidemic going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't understand that. They are claiming that Trump's taking away their freedoms, yet they want to join Islam?
Yeah.
It's silly.
Yep.
Hello.
Yep. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, you're spot on. I mean, this is what we're witnessing. Just like the guy out there in New York City. I get a lot of people saying, "Oh, he's not 100% Islam." I know another reporter that's been kind of putting that out there on his own page, and it's funny. It's like, wait a second. If you study the Islam religion, you know, you believe in Islam, you know, if you've studied the Quran Bible, everybody knows what the Quran Bible says. If you've studied it, I have actually taken time to research it, study it, and they are taught to lie to us, to deceive us, and then to kill us if that's what they choose to do.
So why are so many people switching to Islam then? If they know this.
Well, it's kind of like a cult, You can be easily brainwashed. You look at the left. As far as I'm concerned, they're a bunch of brainwashed sheep as it is. So it's not that hard for them to brainwash these people, get them on board, and then
This one woman who campaigned for the Mamdani mayor in New York City, she was like, "I'm taking, people can line up at my door starting at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and I'll teach you how to convert to Islam." And here she is in a picture. I think I showed you that one picture. And to the left of her is a skimpy white dress, and her closet's wide open, and she's got stuff in there that Islam does not allow.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
And people have heard Mamdani say the bodegas and the supermarkets will not have alcohol, cigarettes, or anything like that. So then the bars are going to be closing down. And then all these teenagers and that think, yeah, I can go out on my birthday and I can party with my girlfriends. No, you can't.
And for those of the audience out there that's listening right now, she lives out in New York, in the New York area. I'm not going to give locations or anything. She knows exactly what she's talking about. Yeah, but carry on. I'm love my audience to hear what you have to say.
But these people out there, they were asked. Some were at the ICE detainment centers with the illegals and stuff. That Ma'am Donnie wants to close Rikers, which is the biggest prison in New York State, and it houses the worst of the worst. He said prison is not the answer for hardened criminals.
Oh my goodness!
7,000 of them out into the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's saying, I'm not requiring people to eat halal food yet.
Wow.
And I'm like, that word right there should have sent chills down everybody's spine when he said that, but they didn't.
Right. I did hear President Trump say something.
They can do exactly the same things that they're doing now. They can do the video games. They can go out drinking. They can go have bacon. They can go to the beach and wear their bikinis. They can go and talk back to their man and have an argument. And he said he doesn't need police because for police matters, he can just send out therapists.
Were you able to hear what Julie D was trying to just say?
No.
Oh, go ahead, Julie.
I was just going to share, I did see where President Trump in one of his press conferences was talking about how he would deal with that mayor of New York when the time was right. So pass that along to her.
I couldn't hear her at all.
Yeah, she's talking about how President Trump has stated now how he would deal with the mayor of New York. Is that correct, Julie?
Yeah. Yes. He didn't say how. He just said that he would.
That he will be dealing with that mayor of New York.
Yeah. He didn't give us a how.
You know, my question is, how is Trump going to handle this kind of a mayor?
Right.
Again, this is a state issue, not the federal government level. Now, can he cut the funding for New York? Absolutely. He can cut all federal funding. But the point is, there's a lot of good people in New York as well. It's not all liberals or whatever.
But I like when people think that when you say, oh, I'm from New York, they think that New York State is one big, huge city.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I will say I am in Western New York near Lake Erie, amongst the Amish fields, mountains, farms, lakes, ponds, and all that stuff. But we already have a suburb of Buffalo, Lackawanna, and back in the 90s, they busted these 6 Muslims who were planning on carrying out a terrorist attack. It was called the Lackawanna Six.
Wow.
And that is a huge Muslim community up near Buffalo.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I want to know if Trump or Cash Patel or Dan Bongino, I mean, I'm sure they absolutely know about Dearborn and Lansing, Michigan, and Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, do they plan on doing anything about the Muslims who chant death to Americans while on American soil?
Well, you know, and that's the $1 million question. I mean, look what's going on right now in Berkley, California. You know, they're chanting, you know, basically death to Charlie Kirk people, to American people, sitting there assaulting them left and right. And again, we just brought it up earlier on the show. You know, these judges have intervened on Donald Trump, telling Donald Trump, you will not have the military on the ground in these cities.
And they can't do
that. And a couple of these were final rulings to where it can't be appealed in certain areas. You know, these judges are trying to overstep their power, try to play like they're the president of the United States.
Okay, but if they're overstepping their power, how can what they rule stick?
Yeah, and that's the $1 million question. So my question is, what's Donald Trump going to do in response to this now with these judges overstepping their boundaries and going against, you know, everything the president has ordered? So yeah, that's we've got to see action. We've got to see this president.
What? I mean, Trump already signed, many bills saying no transgenders in women's sports, yet a lot of states still have it.
Yep, exactly.
How do they get to go against the president? And when you're talking about the judges, I have never once in my life, other than like my small little town here, voted for a major judge because Obama and Biden took out the Supreme Court judges that did not agree with them and put in the ones that did. So why can't Trump do the same thing?
That's a good question. That's that is a darn good question. And at this point, I don't have the answer for Donald Trump. If I was president, I could tell you how I'd be responding. But it doesn't mean.
I know.
But at the same time, I'm not Donald Trump. I don't know what he's got going on at this point behind the scenes, Christina. I don't. I'm sure none of us American people know what he's got in the works behind the scenes. I've got a feeling we're going to see a rude awakening here real soon because Donald Trump has been being walked all over by these judges, have been being walked all over by these city mayors, governors of the states. And I think
that's another thing I don't understand. All these governors, they don't supersede the president. He is the president of the entire country. He is commander in chief. They're supposed
That's
to
right.
him.
Amen.
Yep. Exactly.
100% spot on.
Yep.
Because I don't get to pick the judges and stuff. I don't get to vote on these judges.
Right.
I picked one person, not judges. I picked one person. I voted for one person to oversee this whole entire country, and it wasn't any judge.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't understand how mayors have more authority than President Trump, or governors have more authority than President Trump. I just don't understand.
Well, Christina, here's a good example. The other day, I did a broadcast on the corrupt judges in law enforcement in this country. You look at the amount of corruptness that we have where these judges are working directly for the cartel. They're working they're working, helping with the human trafficking, drug trafficking, you name it. This is where our president should just intervene, in my opinion, and this is my opinion. He ought to just intervene, go in, declare martial law, put these judges in handcuffs, all the officials in handcuffs, just lock the city down and say, we're taking control. We're not allowing this anymore. We're done.
Yeah.
Right. I just don't understand why, that Muslim mayor in New York City, how he can say, well, I've got a message for Trump. Okay, you're just a pissant mayor. That's all you are. That's like a cashier telling the manager what to do.
Right. Well put.
Or the bad boy telling the district manager what to do.
That's right.
And the manager and district manager listening to the bad boy.
Yep. Well put. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. That's so true.
Donnie and his young wife, what picture was behind them?
Yeah.
It was the Twin Towers on fire.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, lovely.
Yep.
And people saw this and still voted for him because the 18 to 30-year-olds said, this had nothing to do with us. We don't give a shit.
Yep.
Wow. Dang.
So, they know Muslims right now. Yes, illegal immigrants are too, but I'm going to say a close second, the illegal immigrants, but the Muslims need to be taken care of. And if anybody wants to blame Trump, well, they can start 40 years ago because there's been decades, president after president after president, Democrat and Republican, who knew about all these Muslims and did nothing.
That's right. Yep.
100% agree.
They brought them in on purpose.
I tried calling the White House. They give you 3 numbers, but they're all disconnected.
Well, that's not right. Dang.
Yeah, that's definitely not right.
I need to find a number for that.
Yeah, why don't you see if you can find that, Julie? So, well, Christine, I appreciate you coming on this show today. You've got some good pointers. We are at just a little over an hour and 10 minutes. We're about 10 minutes over our broadcast time. I love having you on this show. Hope you can call in again. Love to have.
I will,
I would actually love to have you on our show. But we can bring you on the show here in the next day or so.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. So maybe we'll bring you. How about maybe tomorrow? We'll bring you on the show tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Awesome.
You got some good points. So.
Yep.
One thing I would like to ask you, Christine, is it true what I'm hearing from the New York people right now? I'm seeing a lot of things out there where the New York people that voted for this mayor are starting to really get upset with the mayor because they were promised all this free stuff, and now the mayor's pointing out to the people, well, yeah, but you're the ones that's going to be given the free stuff.
Yeah, because he did actually make a commercial, a 30-second commercial, where he, even though he's a billionaire and his father's a trillionaire, he did ask the voters to please send him money so he can make good on his campaign promises.
Oh my God!
Many of the trucking companies that usually for decades have delivered to the grocery stores there said, as long as he's mayor, they're not delivering a damn thing. So now he's how to fill the stores with food.
Wow. Hey, listen, if you've got some of those articles that we can screen share tomorrow, get them over to us.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
And we'll get those articles shared out to the American people as well. I'd love for people to be able to see that.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, we're gonna be on again tomorrow live at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and I think that'd be what, right around 12 Eastern Time, your time. I'd love to have you on our show, and we'll get this out there to the American people.
All righty, you guys keep up the good work.
I appreciate you. Thank you for calling in.
All right.
All right. God bless. Bye bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Wow.
You guys got to keep in mind, Christina lives out in, I think she said, upstate New York. It might not be right in the heart of New York City, but she's out there. She's seeing this. She's hearing this every day. And what a corrupt mayor they've got out there in New York City. And we're going to have her live on a broadcast tomorrow. Hope you guys can tune in to our show. And I think she's a good one to bring on board. And
absolutely.
So, anything else you'd like to add today, Julie?
I don't. I do have an American flag in the background ready to go if you are.
Yeah, actually I am. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Let me do a share for us.
All right. Well, there we go. So I'd just like to say something to you American people out there about that flag right there. For me, that flag stands for freedom and justice for all. This is what this country was founded on, and a lot of bloodshed behind it. And for all these veterans out there this day, I salute you guys, appreciate you guys, and love all of you for giving the greatest sacrifice of all. Put your life out there in harm's way to make sure this country was able to sleep in peace at night. And just God bless you guys and all you veterans and first responders. God bless our law enforcement, our Border Patrol agents out there putting their life in harm's way every day. And God bless all you reporters and everybody else out there as well for putting yourselves on the front lines every day, getting these stories out to the American people. You're all greatly appreciated. So this doesn't just go out to the veterans. This goes out to our responders as well and everybody involved. Just God bless all you guys for all the work and dedication you have given to this great nation of ours. So I appreciate you getting that up there, Julie. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you very much. That was gorgeous.
And I think, let's see, it's going to let me probably unshare it. There we go. But this country was founded just with just so much bloodshed. We've seen revolutions and civil wars. I mean, you name it. At the end of the day, nobody wants to see bloodshed on American soil.
No.
And sadly, right now we are in another civil war. I mean, it's here. It's on our soil. We've got the American people. You got
And
the
right
right
now,
and
it
the
very
left.
much feels like it
Yeah,
feels good versus
it's just,
bad right now.
yeah, it's a sad
A
day
lot of
for American folks. And just keep our country in your thoughts and prayers, and keep all of our border patrol, ICE agents, even people like us in your thoughts and prayers as we're out in the field trying to bring these stories to you guys as well. Um, and pray for our team out there as well. But just want to tell all of you guys, we love you out there, all you patriots. Appreciate your guys' love and support, and for just getting us shared out there with the world. God bless all of you this Veterans Day, and my hat's off to you. And anything else you'd like to add, Julie?
we're a little glitchy on it.
Is anything else you'd
Thank
like
you.
to add today,
I
Julie?
am just that I'm going to go meet my veteran female friends for a free lunch today. So yes, thank you guys.
Outstanding. Well, you guys all enjoy your time with your family and loved ones out there and your veterans. And just God bless you guys. We'll see you live again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time. God bless you guys.
Absolutely. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.